the way of wisdom leads to life. Look at Proverbs 9, verse 1. Proverbs 9, verse 1 says, wisdom has built her house. She has hewn her 7 pillars. She has slaughtered her beasts. She has mixed her wine. She's also set her table. Notice, she has sent out her young women to call from the highest places in the town. And here's what wisdom says. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. To him who lacks sense, she says, and here's her message, come eat of my bread and drink of the wine that I have mixed. And here it is, she says, leave your simple ways and live. To many of us today, leave your simple ways and live and walk in the way of insight. Notice that these verses here represent an invitation to wisdom from wisdom. Wisdom is saying, come, live in my house. And remember, we've learned in previous weeks, this is woman wisdom pursuing the young man. The context is a father to his son. And we've learned here, as the father says, son, in the same way that you desire to have a wife one day with a passion for her and a desire for intimacy with her and just a longing to be with your wife for the rest of your life. The father says, in the same way, pursue woman wisdom, the intimacy, the passion, because a relationship with her leads to life and honor and blessing. And so we are to pursue wisdom with passion in the same way that she pursues us in this text with passion as well. And so notice the details of wisdom's house in verse 1. Notice wisdom has built her house. She has hewn her 7 pillars. Now the mention of 7 pillars is explaining that wisdom's house rocks. Wisdom's house is magnificent. It is a beautiful house. Listen, it is a strong house. The use of 7 here in Scripture often symbolizes perfection, pointing to Yahweh Himself. So if in doubt, understand this, okay? Understand this. Wisdom's house is God's house. When you walk on the path to wisdom, you're walking on the path to God. Where wisdom dwells, God dwells. Where God dwells, wisdom dwells. Wisdom's house is God's house. Loved ones, I'm telling you, you've got to get to God's house. You got to get to the house of wisdom, because you find wisdom, you find the will of God, you find God Himself. Where wisdom is, God is. Loved ones, you got to get to wisdom's house. You got to get to God's house. How? Through wisdom.